What's happening, everyone? This is Spilling Tea with Chris G, and tonight I'm going over the Rob and China show. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and spill that tea for you guys at the end, but first, let's go ahead and jump into my top five highlights. Let's get started. So for my first highlight, China had threw a party for her employee Patty, who works at 88 Fin China's boutique, and China invited Rob, of course. Rob didn't show up. So Patty was asking China how she was feeling, and China basically told her, her and Rob haven't spoken in 4 days. And it's bothering her that Rob is so insecure about himself. He doesn't want to leave the house, and he's always accusing China of cheating on him. And, of course, Rob always says it's because of his past relationship, but at some point you're gonna have to move on, Rob. On to my second highlight. Scott and Rob are hanging out on the show a lot. Scott knows how to get them checks. But anyways, so Scott was telling Rob, just kind of trying to give him some advice about his past issues, and Rob was telling him about the argument that they had and why he didn't show up to the party. So Scott, told him, he was like, I don't have all the answers. Clearly, if my life was perfect, I would be at home right now. But I encourage you to call China just to try to clear the air since you guys haven't spoken in 4 days. So Rob did end up calling China, and China asked him, how come you didn't come to the party? I mean, what's going on? Was it because of the argument? Is it because of your self-esteem? And Rob said it was basically all of the above. The argument that happened between them, that huge argument, the prior episode where are you still texting bitches, yes or no, the self-esteem issues, and he's just like, I'm trying to stay away from you so that way you don't leave me and you still want me. So I kind of felt bad for Rob. And China, she's trying to work on it, but she also, she has a few of her own self-esteem issues. So I don't know, they'll work it out. Though, on to my third highlight. Seems like the theme of the show is self-esteem. Chris and Rob had met up, and Chris was telling him, hey, you probably need to get yourself into a routine, because Rob was telling Chris, aka Mom, that he's having problems still, he's still struggling, and he's trying to get himself together. But I know Chris is like, bruh, you got a baby on the way, like you don't have time for all this self-reflecting, like you need to get it together now. So Scott had came to the rescue a few days later and brought the trainer over to Rob's house to try to get him back in shape, try to get him on a diet plan. So that was real cool of Scott. And then also Scott had planted some cameras in Rob's house to watch him, to see if he's really doing what he says what he's telling everyone, that he's eating right and he's doing this and he's doing that. And Scott is like, listen, it's got to be more to this story. So, yeah, we need to go ahead and monitor you. So, I thought that was real cute. But Scott, he's trying to motivate him. So, he's trying to help Rob work on himself so he could be a better man for China and the kids. So, anyways, on to my fourth highlight. Rob finally had came over and apologized to China for his behavior, basically. And China, she really misses Rob. So she asked Rob, hey, you want to move back into the house? And Rob declined the offer. He said that he's trying to work on himself, and that the best thing possible for both of them is to have their space. So China did invite Rob to Cannes, France, because she was doing a hosting gig with the Daily Mail over there. And she was like, hey, you should come with me. I would really love for you to do that. Rob did say yes, but as we all know, Rob has been kind of flaky when it comes to public appearances. So China was feeling a certain way about him coming, because she was like, he's always flaking out. And then she was feeling kind of insecure about her body, because this doctor had came out and said that China's booty had collapsed. And she was trying to call the office to try to see if she could talk to this doctor, and the nurses is always like, he's out, he's not picking up, can I take a message? And so she did say that she was going to go to the doctor's office, but we did not see that on this episode. Rob also was having issues trying to get fitted for a lot of his clothes. His stylist had came over and nothing was fitting. So, he was getting down on himself too. Scott was there to try to be supportive, but Rob was just not feeling the whole thing, and China wasn't feeling herself either in this episode. On to my fifth highlight. So, yes, you guys, China did end up going to France and she did her hosting gig, and Rob did not come. She was super pissed. She was like, I booked all these flights and all this stuff, and now you telling me you're not going to come? And Rob basically told her, I can't. I just can't do it. I don't want to go out in public. They're going to be taking pictures of me. I just can't. China was telling him you can't be there for moral support, but he just couldn't do it. So, back to the scene where she is in France. Her and Paige are there, and Paige had asked her, how do you feel about Rob not being here? And China says she doesn't know, but she did explain that she felt Rob would stress her out more if he was there, because he would be worried about paparazzi or worried about all this stuff about his weight. And so she feels like that she doesn't have that much stress on her shoulders that he's not there. But she was also stressing out in the car. How does my butt look? How does this look? How does my hair look? I feel this way. I feel that way. So when China and Paige finally got back to the States, Paige finally told her, you felt the way you did over in France for just a few hours. But Rob feels like that all the time. Like, he feels like his self-esteem is down all the time. People are looking at him, people are talking about him. You have your China dolls, but he feels like he doesn't have that support. So China finally understood what Rob is going through. So she did finally go over to Rob's house and decided that she wanted to give him an apology and a little booty. So now I'm gonna go ahead and spill that tea for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is tea time. Let me go ahead and spill that tea for you right quick. The game, and I know this is a Rob and Chyna show, y'all, but the game went on to Wendy Williams to say that he's confirming he slept with Kim and Khloe. And so Wendy Williams said, did you sleep with any of the Jenners? And he said, no, they're not the Kardashians. But I did sleep with one who is not a Kardashian yet. And yes, we're talking about Blac Chyna. Now, Blac Chyna has moved on. That was in her past. She's moved on to, of course, bigger and better things. So that's done, but he did bring it up. Also, they posted a picture of their baby girl sonogram. So I'm so excited for them too. I know that baby is going to be super cute. And Rob finally posted a picture of a new house saying that he's closing on it because he wants to get the hell out of LA. Hopefully that deal goes through and that house was looking fat. Anyways, that is it for you guys. Please make sure you subscribe. Have a good night.